For the Southern California Prep Insider, I'm Keith Dolan here for another edition of the Best of the Rest segment. We are here from the University of Southern California, USC as we know it. Once again, we're here at USC because of why? Because a big matchup took place just maybe blocks down the road, folks. Santee and Emmanuel Arts, I was at that game last week. A big game and a big win for the Santee Falcons over the Emmanuel Arts Toilers. Santee right now in that D3 division looks like the team to beat. And their running back, Joseph Todd, he is an unbelievable talent. We'll get to an interview with him in just a bit. But that said, we are here breaking down all the best from the rest of the city section, from D2 to D3 to 8, and we're breaking it all down right here on the podcast. So let's start out with some 8-man football. The smallest tends to be the one that's most overlooked, but we're going to get to you guys. We're going to get to the 8-man right now. So let's get you some scores. Teach Tech Charter 28-16 over USC Hybrid, a big win there. And then Sherman Oaks with a win by forfeit over East Valley. Sherman Oaks seems to be like one of the teams to beat in that 8-man division. Sun Valley 70-14 over Discovery. NVMI with a close win over Fulton 16-12. Two-point conversions changed the outcome of that game, so that was a really close one for NVMI. Then NMO Robinson 64-0 over New Designs University Park. New Designs University Park seemed like a team early on that was very good, playing well with Sun Valley. Now Sun Valley has a couple of wins of their own, so watch out for Sun Valley. Could challenge NMO Robinson, but who knows? Playoffs are a wacky time for all of the 8-man division, but right now the Monarchs look like the team to beat. They're playing NVMI this week. It seems to be a huge game for them. Either way, a couple bye weeks coming up. Regardless of who ends out on top, it's going to be a great playoff bracket there in the 8-man division. That said, let's now move over to D2 and D3 collection of games. And last week or a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, we covered Taft. And it was interesting because Taft literally had not scored a single point all season. No points. Southeast is actually the only team left in the LA City section. They're in D1, I believe. So they are the only team without a point in the city section. This past week, though, 21 of them scored by the Taft Toreadors. They lost, though, however, to Granada Hills. It was their homecoming night. Granada Hills 62-21 over Taft, a win there. That one is, of course, in the D1 division. And then Jordan 14, or rather D2. Jordan 14-7 over Hoyball. Hollywood 21-14 over Contreras. Holly shuts out from North Hollywood 17-0. Torres 32-27 over Lincoln, a tough one there. Jefferson 56-3 over Angelo, a big win there for the Demos. Roosevelt with 600 plus yards. Once again, they can run the ball better than anybody in the city section. Maybe Santee has them beat. I don't know. They got a 4-headed, 5-headed, 6-headed rushing attack there at Roosevelt. The Rough Riders like to ride the ball up the gut, around the corner. Doesn't matter. They can run. Rancho Dominguez, though, 37-0 over Mesas. Arleta, 32-16 over Monroe. Grant, 31-6 over Chavez in the battle for that San Fernando Valley. Mendez, 29-14 over Belmont. George Washington Prep, interestingly enough, with a big win over West Adams, 38-12. Marquez, 42-37 over Bernstein. Locke, 28-15 over Fremont. Santee, as we mentioned, a big win over Emmanuel Arts, 49-20. And then LA High to round it out, 42-6 over Sotomayor. Some games to watch out for this week. Sherman Oaks CES taking on Sun Valley. Sun Valley coming off a big win. 70 points offensively over Sherman Oaks. CES, they look good. But Sherman Oaks, they've gone blown out a couple times this year as well. So we'll see who's the better of the two. I think in that matchup right there of Sun Valley and Sherman Oaks, whoever wins that game will most likely challenge NMO Robinson for the 8-man title. We'll see. Either way, Wilson versus Torres, 2 5-2 ball clubs. Wilson just with a tough loss at Franklin. We'll get to that game in just a minute. Arleta taking on Verdugo Hills. And then the battle for USC, interestingly enough, that's why we're here, folks. New Designs University Park taking on USC Hybrid. New Designs University Park, more on the edge of campus. It's pretty far out there. Still in University Park, though. It's off of Figueroa, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 24th Street. Something around there. Either way, just off of Adams out there in University Park. Whereas USC Hybrid, they're right near the Coliseum, actually right across the street from the Coliseum. So the battle for SC, USC Hybrid, and DUP. We'll see who wins that one. My money's on the Cardinals, but who knows? USC Hybrid could surprise me. That said, we're going to move on to the games of the week. before we get to Manual Arts and Santee, let's first talk about Franklin Wilson. I was at that game. 42-29, Franklin on top of Wilson. The game was close in the first quarter. It seemed at first that both teams were kind of trading touchdowns. It seemed, there was going to be no defense, and as I predicted on the last podcast, there was going to be no defense, and there really wasn't to start out. But then we saw Franklin really start to dominate Wilson, and we saw touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Franklin started to pull away. Something that was interesting, though, looking at Bobadilla, he was throwing, he was slinging the ball all over the yard, as he usually does. No surprise there. But their rushing attack was really impressive. The big player for Franklin on that Friday night win over Wilson was Alex Gaspar, a big body, folks. 5'5", 180, almost like a bowling ball of sorts, just really rolling over the competition. Multiple touchdowns on the night. I don't think Franklin would have been as up as they were if it were not for Gaspar, because Bobadilla, he was looking sharp, but wasn't nearly as sharp as he usually is, was electing to run the ball a little bit more than he usually does. And it really worked for Franklin because this Wilson offense, they're up-tempo. Both teams are up-tempo, but Wilson especially. Every single play, no huddle, almost every single time. So we knew it was going to be a shootout, and that's what it turned into in the first and second quarters. But then we saw Gaspar run the ball, and Franklin started to eat up that clock and get touchdowns, especially on the goal line. There was a couple goal line TDs that were huge for that team. So without Gaspar, this Franklin team wouldn't be where they are right now, one of the best teams in that Division II. And I know Connor and Alex, they don't want to put a D2 team in the top 10. They don't want to do that, but I think that this Franklin team is top 10 worthy. They've really just have been fantastic all season long. Nobody's really competed with them thus far. The big game of the year. I hope that I've had the pleasure to cover it if Alex or Connor doesn't go to it. The big game, Eagle Rock Franklin. The Rock right now, they're undefeated. They're looking so good, and Franklin as well. They're looking very good. A battling. That's really the rivalry. Interestingly enough, the Wilson-Franklin rivalry, the battle for the bell, it's something that was more historic than Eagle Rock Franklin, but kind of these past couple of years, it's been Franklin and Eagle Rock battling against each other, so that's going to be a big game. I'm watching out for that one. So the next game on the docket, Santee Manual Arts. Santee coming into Manual Arts and getting a huge win. It's interesting to look at that Franklin-Wilson game because Franklin and Wilson, they're the top teams in Division II. We know that. I mean, they're interleague rivals. So looking at that game, you thought, okay, this is going to be kind of who decides D2. But looking at D3, two interleague teams in Santee and Manual Arts that were among tops in that D3 bracket. Of course, Manual Arts I wouldn't say is necessarily the number 2 as much as Wilson was, but they still had a lot of clout going with them. And Santee really kind of put the brakes on Manual Arts. They said, we are the best team in this section. Interestingly enough, after the game, a big win, by the way, helped by Santee's Joseph Todd, who's one of the most prolific runners in Santee history, really. He has a city section record for most touchdowns in a game. He could easily break the city section record for touchdowns in a season. We'll see come season's end whether he'll break it or not. But interestingly enough, after the game, Jalen McElroy, the quarterback for Manual Arts, said, "We'll see you at Elko. We'll see you at Elko," which, as you don't know, El Camino College is the home for the city section championship. So this Twiller squad, they're looking for Santee. They have Santee's number. It was a tough loss at home, especially. They're saying, no, this is not going to be a loss in vain. But either way, Santee, they went up early. It was interesting because Manual Arts, they started to run the ball and they had, a couple of big plays here or there, but nothing really doing in the second half. And that's when Santee started to pull away. Todd started getting going. Some of these other guys started getting going. And so Santee right now, they're the best team in D3, and I think they have a good chance to win that whole D3 bracket. Either way, I talked with Joseph Todd after the game about his big day, and either way, I talked with running back for Santee, Joseph Todd, after the game about his big day at Manual Arts and who he credits his success. I talked with Santee running back Joseph Todd after the game about his big day and who he credits his success to. Maybe not. So I talked with the running back Joseph Todd after that game. Multiple touchdowns for him, a huge win for Santee. I talked with him about his big game as well as a couple guys that he likes to shout out. Take a look. Well, the Southern California Prep Insider, I'm Keith Mulder here from Manual Arts High School, the home of a big win for the Falcons, 49-20 over the Manual Arts Twirlers. I'm here with the star of the game, Joseph Todd. Joseph, you had an amazing game, multiple touchdowns. How'd you feel?
Hey man, it was a great atmosphere out here. I just want to give it up to the O-line.
Get out of here. Let you enjoy your interview.
Like, it's just a great thing when you play with your family. Like, I consider all these people my family, and it's just a brotherhood here. So it's like, it's just normal out there. It's just praying for a brotherhood.
So you guys went up early on. It seemed like this was a game that you guys would easily win.
Yeah, completely. We came out up tempo. We've been working hard all week since last week. It's just, we've been working, so you could tell like they wasn't ready. And yeah, it's just the drive between us, like, cause everybody think we the flu, everybody think we're not good, everybody think we overrated, you could say, and that's what drives us. And yeah, we just come out and win every time.
Even if they say you're overrated, you're undefeated right now. You guys haven't lost. Do you guys see yourselves staying undefeated, not losing games this entire season?
Yeah, completely. Like I said, it's the drive that keep us every week. From Monday, from the start to the finish, we have these team goals here. Believe, prepare, and execute. We believe in a play, we believe in our coaches, and we believe in and then we go out and we prepare for practice, and then we execute on Friday. So yeah, it's a great coaching staff. It's great.
Seems to be pretty easy for you. Obviously, that doesn't come with some struggle. What have you tried to improve on as a player to try to win these games?
You could say my attitude, sort of. Like, as far as I started here as a freshman, and we started off bad, like 10th grade and 9th grade year. We was losing every game and stuff like that. But it's just keeping your composure and keeping your head up and getting ready for the next play. So no matter what, win or lose, this is my brotherhood, and I'm always fighting for everything I have.
That's amazing. So next week you guys got a big game. Obviously, you had a win today. What are you looking forward to next week?
Next week is a bye week, but the next game, I'm looking forward to do the same thing over, man. Believe, prepare, and execute. That's all it is. It's the biggest game because it's the next game.
3 simple things from number 3. That's Joseph Todd. A 49-20 win for Santee. They look like the best team in D3 right now.
Yeah,
but they got playoffs to do.
Shout out to my O-line, man. There are some dogs. I'm telling you, you saw them right here. They're just dogs. So I give a great round of applause to them. And just everybody else, man. Everybody is just a brotherhood here, like I said. We all a family and we all work hard together. We believe and we prepare and we execute. So that's shout out to my whole team, man. I love them and my brothers.
Dogs, Falcons, you name it, Santee's got it. They have the win. We're going to send it back to the podcast. There you go. Thanks so much. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, check it out on YouTube, by the way.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
What is it?
Look up the Southern California Prep Insider.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, wait, do you got Twitter?
No. Instagram?
Instagram? All right, we'll put it on Instagram. That's going to wrap it up here for the Best of the Rest segment here from USC Throma. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Best of the Rest segment. For all of us here from the Southern California Prep Insider, I'm Keith Mulder. Thank you so much all season long, folks, for watching and commenting and sharing all the stories that we like to give you guys each week for the Best of the Rest. It really means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to all of us here at the SCPI. Either way, we thank you for watching this episode. Make sure to check out all of our other content. Here from USC, we're saying so long. See us next week. Check out those games this Friday. Take it easy.